Welcome back. Here's a quick recap. The mood darkened slightly as Milan addressed them, his expression firm. You're not seriously thinking of showering Raon with a few words of praise and calling it done, are you? Vice Commander Tyrion nodded solemnly. Of course not. He deserves the highest reward and proper compensation. Raon saved countless lives. Then Milan stepped forward, voice weighted with significance. I'm thinking of something more valuable than gold. He opened a box, the contents hidden beneath a velvet lining. What I plan to give Raon is this. Tyrion's breath caught. This is. Milan confirmed, his voice like thunder behind calm eyes. Yes, armor forged from the mana stone of the Orc Lord. It's called the White Soul Armor. Meanwhile, at the Branch of Frost, joy and laughter spilled through the tavern air. Soldiers clinked wooden mugs, their spirits high. Beside them sat Raon, quiet yet surrounded by warmth. One soldier stood, raising his mug. Let's celebrate the birth of a hero. If you're just tuning in or want a refresher, be sure to check out the previous chapter before plunging into what comes next. Now that we're caught up, let's dive into the heart of the story. 10 months had passed since Raon first arrived at Haben Castle. The seasons had turned, and winter had blanketed the castle and the surrounding forest in a thick layer of snow. Raon sat quietly on the ground, his gaze fixed on the majestic mountains in front of him. The peaks were shrouded in a misty veil, their snow-covered slopes glimmering in the pale winter sunlight. As Raon sat amidst the winter quietude, he began to remember his past days in Haben Castle. The memories flooded his mind like a stream, and he felt a mix of emotions. The 10 months since his arrival felt both long and short. So many things happened during these 10 months, he was also able to achieve a lot. Raon recalled a pivotal part of his journey at Haben Castle. He remembered that he was able to learn to manipulate spirit energy thanks to the true soul sword he got from Kuberud. Then, his thoughts turned to the harrowing experience of enduring against the monster wave right there at Haben Castle, a place many called Hell's Battlefield. The memories of that intense battle lingered, a testament to his resilience and the strength he'd found. For the last half year after the wave, Raon remembered that he was able to learn a new way to use Glacia. The skill had grown with him, becoming a part of his arsenal against the challenges he faced. Through all of that, the battles, the growth, the trials, the people of Haben Castle became his trustworthy comrades. The thought brought a sense of warmth to Raon as he sat amidst the winter quietude. With a smile, Raon thought maybe it was because he managed to successfully fend off a monster wave, but people began to call him by a new nickname. He hadn't sought out the recognition, but it seemed to have found him nonetheless. Without his knowledge, stories of his heroic battles were being passed throughout the continent. The scene shifted towards the northwest of the continent, to the vast and unforgiving expanse of the Levine Desert. The landscape transformed abruptly from the snowy mountains and forests of Haben Castle to the endless dunes of sand and rock that characterized the desert. Ben's voice cut through the dry desert air as he asked someone in surprise, "The hero of Haben Castle?" His eyes widened with a mix of astonishment and curiosity. A tall man with long green hair stood beside Ben, his voice calm and confirming as he spoke. "Yes. I heard that he fought until dawn while protecting those who were injured. People call him the hero of Haben Castle or the Sword Demon." The man's words painted a vivid picture of Raon's actions at Haben Castle. "I heard that he's a blonde swordsman your age. A title already at his age. Pretty impressive." Ben, after hearing the green-haired man's words about Raon, thought to himself, Raon Zieghardt. He's getting stronger. The thought sparked a mix of emotions in Ben. The green-haired figure, looking at Ben's emotion evident on his face or in his posture, became speechless. After sitting near Ben, the green-haired man asked Ben, "Is he the one you're trying to surpass?" Ben, in surprise, replied, "Yeah, that's right." His confirmation was straightforward, acknowledging Raon Zieghardt as the person he was trying to catch up to or surpass. Hearing Ben's confirmation, the green-haired man asked, "Then why do you look excited? Shouldn't you be angry or sad that the person you're trying to catch up to is even stronger than before?" The man's question probed into Ben's emotions, seeking to understand the reasoning behind Ben's reaction. Ben, after looking at the green-haired man, replied, "No, I'm actually happy. It'll be much more worth it when I catch up to him now that he's even stronger." With a joyful tone, Ben announced, "The stronger he gets, the stronger I can also become." His words were filled with a sense of challenge and motivation, indicating that Raon's growth was a spur for Ben's own ambitions. Hearing Ben's words, the green-haired man's face lit up with a smile. The man's expression changed from puzzlement to one of approval or admiration for Ben's attitude. Then the green-haired man teased Ben, "You two must be really close. I'm envious, and he laughed. His tone was playful, suggesting a closeness or a bond between Ben and Raon. With a blush, Ben replied, close. Not a chance, he's just a rival. The scene shifted towards the northwest of the continent, the unforgiving Saiyan Canyon. Martha, her armor battered, her breathing heavy from the toll of battle, sat on a jagged rock, her bloody sword plunged into the sand below, as if anchoring her to the harsh reality of the canyon. With a voice trembling between disbelief and fury, she demanded, "What? A blonde swordsman is being hailed as the hero of Haben Castle?" A man with light brown hair, his eyes filled with a mix of caution and empathy, replied in a low tone, "Yes. I heard he single-handedly halted a monster wave there. I thought you'd want to know, considering you've always had an interest in the battles of Haben Castle." Martha's face twisted in a dejected, almost tortured look. "I did expect him to grow stronger." Her words were a strained whisper, then she paused, her gaze lost in the burning canyon horizon. "But just how much stronger is he going to get?" she spat, her voice rising to a curse. "Damn bastard." Her anger seemed to shudder through the canyon air. The light brown hair subordinate, witnessing Martha's torment, stepped forward with urgency to calm her. "Rumors, they are often exaggerated. I don't know who this swordsman is, but I swear, you are stronger than him now." He pointed dramatically towards a gruesome mountain of monster corpses behind Martha. "Those beasts you slaughtered are testament to your power." Martha, with a calm tone that contrasted with her earlier outburst, replied, "No, he's a real prodigy. This still isn't good enough." After hearing Martha's words, the subordinate looked at Martha in surprise. Martha continued, after gritting her teeth and clenching her fist tightly, she murmured, "I can feel it. I can feel that he's getting stronger even now." Her voice was low, almost as if speaking to herself, but conveyed a deep sense of awareness and perhaps unease about this Raon's growth. With a curious voice, the subordinate replied, "I'm curious, then, who is he to make you get so worked up?" Martha, after looking at the subordinate in a serious tone, replied, "Someone who saved my life as well as a rival I have to defeat." The scene shifted towards the Khatan jungle. Inside a base, some of the female soldiers sat near Ronan, then began chatting. One of them spoke, "Well, I know that there were reinforcements above the walls, but how does it make sense for a single person to go down there into the battlefield to protect all those injured people?" Another lady chimed in, "I'm sure it's all just a rumor. How could a kid do all that?" Her tone was skeptical about the tales of Raon's deeds at Haben Castle. Another female soldier asked Ronan, "Didn't you say that he's your friend? What do you think?" The question directed at Ronan saw her perspective on the stories. Ronan slowly replies, "I'm sure the rumors are true. He's definitely capable of such feats." Her words confirmed the validity of the stories about Raon's actions at Haben Castle. Hearing Ronan's words, one of the female soldiers asked in a curious tone, "Hey, Ronan, just how strong is he? I feel like he has to be weaker than you." The soldier's question sought a comparison between Ronan's strength and Raon's. Ronan, after looking down, replied, "No, he's stronger than me both physically and mentally." Her admission was straightforward, acknowledging Raon's superiority in both aspects. After hearing this, the female soldiers asked in shock, "What? You're kidding?" Their reaction was one of disbelief. Another female soldier asked, "There's no way someone is stronger than you." Her tone was one of disbelief, challenging the idea that anyone could surpass Ronan in strength. Another lady chimed in, "Yeah, you got through this jungle in just 6 hours. Even an experienced warrior needs 8 hours. A lady who sat on a tall tree branch spoke, "You take on a different atmosphere whenever the topic is about him. Is he like your rival or something? Are you here to get better than him?" Her observation noted a change in Ronan's demeanor when discussing Raon. Ronan, after thinking a bit, replies, "No, I'm not here to become stronger than him." Her words clarified that his goal wasn't to surpass Raon in strength. The lady in the tree asked, "Then why?" Her question sought Ronan's motivation for training or wanting to become stronger. Ronan, who was sitting, explained, "I want to become stronger enough to be able to aid him by his side, so that I'm not a burden, so that I can help him." Her words conveyed a desire to be strong enough to support Raon. While Raon sat in snow in meditation. After closing his eyes, Raon thought, "All right, the more I use it, the more Glacia's sense feel more vivid." As he looked around the surrounding using Glacia, he thought, "What a ridiculous technique, now I can see much farther even if I have my eyes closed." His thoughts conveyed a mix of amazement and perhaps a bit of disbelief at the capabilities of the Glacia technique. After remembering Wrath's anger in the past, he thought, "There's a reason Wrath was so mad when I got this skill. he remembered Wrath shouting at the system when he got the skill, "This can't be happening." Raon's recollection of Wrath's intense reaction underscored the significance of the Glacia skill and Wrath's opposition to it. After opening his eyes, Raon looked at Wrath, who floated mid-air and was looking at mountains intensely. Raon thought, but he's been quiet lately. He's always looking at the peak of Mount Sterling. I need him to make bets or something to get something out of him. While Raon was lost in intense, brooding thoughts, Wrath's voice cut through the air like a challenge, calling out, "Raon Zieghardt." Raon snapped out of his thoughts with a jolt of surprise, his eyes narrowing slightly as he replied with a tense, "Yeah." Wrath, his gaze piercing as he floated in mid-air, asked with a hint of a smirk, "How about a bet? It's been a while." For a moment, Raon's eyes locked onto Wrath's, a flicker of wariness crossing his face. Then he asked with a low, measured tone, "That's out of the blue, you've been so quiet lately, what kind of bet did you have in mind?" Wrath, his voice dripping with an air of simplicity that belied its true stakes, said, "It's very simple." Then Wrath asked, his voice taking on a probing tone, "Was the test from that pointy-eared dude to survive in this place for a year?" Raon, his jaw CL tightening slightly in conformation, replied in a firm tone, "Yeah, I have less than 2 months left of that now." Wrath, after thinking, floated above Raon's head and spoke with a cold, challenging tone, "All right, we'll bet on that then. I'll bet that you won't survive the remaining 2 months." Raon, after hearing Wrath's words, asked Wrath in a teasing, provocative tone, "Are you serious?" Wrath, in a burst of anger, shouted, "I don't ever lie." After seeing Raon's doubtful gaze, he murmured with growing ire, "What's with that doubtful look on your face?" Raon simply replied with a calmness that contrasted with Wrath's anger, "You've lied tons of times though." Raon, after looking at Wrath, thought inwardly, "Is he really stupid?" He considered his situation. "I have less than 2 months left until graduation, and the wave is over too. There is less risk of Eden attacking too." After remembering the new reinforcement, Raon thought, "After the death of the Blue Spirit, Balker and Norwin's forces have been dispatched here. If Eden has any kind of intelligence, they wouldn't try another attack. All I need to do is train and then return to Zieghardt." And he thought, "There's no reason for me to not accept this bet." After brief thought, Raon accepted the bet, saying, "All right, I'll accept your bet." Wrath, after hearing this, spoke with a joyful tone, "Now that's a wise choice." Wrath's reaction was one of satisfaction, pleased with Raon's decision to accept the bet regarding his survival in the remaining 2 months. Friends, this chapter comes to an end. To everyone watching, thank you for joining us on this adventure. If you're excited to see what happens next, let me know in the comments, ask for more chapters, and I'll keep them coming. If you'd like to support the channel and be part of our family, consider joining as a member. Don't forget to like and subscribe to help grow this community. Until next time, stay tuned.